Coming back down again.
With data now, wouldn't see a case for September cut.
This is coming out of one of the Fed guys, his hammock. With data now, wouldn't see a case for a September cut. This again is if Jay Powell reiterates something like that tomorrow, we're going to have a market. The market's going to pull back. Um, so just be careful here. Again, it's a low probability trading environment, but some of these statements on the rate cut becoming less likely is going to be negative on the market. Well, we get the market internals bearish right now. SPY is coming down, even though this is blue. Don't pay too much attention to that color change. Look where the indicator is right here. It's just moving right along the 20 area. This could flip over to red in an instant right now. Market's coming in. Market's likely to find some support right at this algo line. That's something we just put on here today. That is around 633. Around 633. At 633, 634. About $1.50 lower. Very choppy, very slow day. Not much volume. Market just very low probability trading environment. I have to keep saying that. This is not a good day to be making trades right now. SPY bouncing now after that one big red candle. Remember we had this big red candle here earlier, and the market bounced back up. We're just coming right back up to the VWAP again. This is treacherous, very treacherous trading conditions here. Futu held up really nicely during that big red candle on the SPY. There's still some buyers in there. Market is just not conducive right now, though, to trading anything, long or short, right now. See if Futu can hold the VWAP here, as the market internals have now moved back up again. This is very choppy. This is like yesterday, except it's much lower volume. SPY came down right to the VWAP as well. Triple Qs doing about the same thing. IWM, same thing. Very difficult to trade here. Futu is showing a little bit of relative strength, but not much. Futu fighting to hold the VWAP here. For solar, nice, fairly short setup here for an intraday trade. Apple's still coming down. This thing's been weak lately. Sitting right on the 15 EMA right now, Apple. Can't see any more questions. Very, very, very treacherous day for trading right now. It's just very little action. With these Fed comments coming out today from Hammock, because the Hammock Fed chair guy, there's obviously going to be people just now waiting. They've been waiting for see what Powell says tomorrow anyway. This is going to even make that more so. Um, they're just waiting to see what he's going to say. But there's definitely some doubt being cast about as whether there's going to be a rate cut in September. Market internals up, down, up, down, up, down. Just with just horrible conditions. All right, let's see if we get any more questions here. There's not much to say. This is bad market conditions. Hammock is not a voting member this year. Yeah, I know it doesn't make, but that's I understand that, but that's not the point. The point is whether he's a member or not a member. Those kind of comments are gonna throw a damper on the market. Hey Ryan, time spread on SPY with a new way thing of going. 5 years lower time spread on the SPY. No, I mean, listen, if anybody wants to take a SPY trade going into tomorrow, you can always try a straddle or a strangle based on a big market move based on what Powell has to say. But there's a risk that the market's not going to do much of anything. This is August. We don't really have much going on except for the Jackson Hole thing tomorrow. So, I mean, you can see what the market's doing. There's nothing driving it here at all. Futu is just moving just flat sideways here right now. Market internals trending down. FSLR get a good short. It's coming up on the 15 EMA. And Apple bouncing.
remembers headlines hitting wires. DOJ official urges Fed Powell to remove Governor Lisa Cook.
Nishai, ABB, nice again today. Yeah, gonna need a pullback strictly in JK trade. Yeah, it's moving up pretty nicely. Moved up this morning, pulled back to the VWAP, and now bounced again. Nice daily chart on it. Nice daily chart. It is a little extended, as I'm sure realized. NVO in the gap on volume, Mayank. Thank you. Yeah, trying to get into this gap. The gap entrance is at 55.37. Just went through it, so yeah, it's in a gap. Nice look on that, Mike. It's a big gap. This chop. This stock is. If you look at NVO, one thing you notice on it is most of the movement in NVO, most of it, not all of it, obviously, is in gaps. Big gap to here, gap to here. Now there was some pretty good movement on those candles. A gap here, a gap here, a gap here. It does lots of gaps. Right now the gaps have a little bit less, but this is the gap you're in right here. All right, so this is a gap. It just went into that. That's a pretty nice, pretty nice potential move on that NVO to the upside on here. It's got to hold this now. This is going to be resistance here. You notice how you see what happened here when it got to it here and here. Resistance both times. Now it's gotten through it today, but I wouldn't say with a lot of conviction at the moment. But it's a nice look on that one. Very nice look on that one, Mike. Very nice. BE, a nice long, okay. Blue energy, yeah, it's been good here. Pull back to the 8 and move back right up through it yesterday, back up through the 15. Bounced off the 15 right up through the 8 and is trying to break out today. BE, a potential breakout on BE. Yeah, that's a nice look on BE as well. Blue energy. There's Bloom right there moving up. Futu just going sideways right with the market. Now the trend is up again. This is just all chop. You see what the oscillator's doing here. The gear, it comes down. It just been chopping around, just back and forth between green and blue, between blue and yellow, which is just blue is a trend up, yellow is a trend down. Just bounce. That's all it's doing, is just bouncing around, getting a little bit of a move to the upside here now. Just horrible trading conditions. I mean, there's some trades out there that are pretty good, that are set up and moving nicely today. Bloom Energy is called out. That was a good one. I still like Futu Long if we can get off the deck with it. I think it's got good potential to the upside. It's starting to move up a little bit here now. But the market's not giving us any help here at all. And it's pretty much just trading with the market. I wouldn't say it has relative strength right now. Market's also moving up right now. It's very, very, very low confidence day today. SPY just really dead here. SPY's dead. The volume is dead. Yeah, not too much to say here today. The SPY went right up to the 15. It's right smack against the 15 EMA. You can see that it hasn't been able to get through that this morning. It's supported here on that algo line, and that's probably going to support again. We're just inside of yesterday's range. This is really low probability. That's all I can keep saying. This is a low probability trading environment. Futu still looks like a good long setup here if you can catch it at a good price. It's hard because the options are pretty expensive and they're moving around an awful lot as far as the bid-ask spread is concerned. Futu just moving sideways. Shy at First Solar riding the M5 80 EM day down. Yeah, it's a nice one. That's a very nice one. Yeah, I see Harry took a put debit spread in it. That's a nice trade. Just moving down beautifully today. Again, relative weakness all day long, no matter what the market's doing. It's taking a little bit of a bounce here. It does have it is coming up right on the 15 on the daily right now. 193.34. 190, about a buck lower than this. It'll be on the 15. Nice trade though, very nice. Good day for a long nap, Roger. Yeah, you're right about that. This is day 2 of this stuff. August is notoriously a tough month to trade because of there's just nothing going on. I mean, no Fed, no Congress, just a lot of hedge funds and institutional folks are on vacation. They joke about how they're out to the Hamptons. Just not an awful lot to drive the market, except news or speculation and tweets and that kind of thing. But again, those are fairly short-lived usually. It's Futu just trying desperately to hold the VWAP but not able to. SPY holding on here, just right at the 15. Triple Q's down about 0.3% right now. SPY down about 0.2% right now. And IWM up 0.2%. IWM actually green. Not much movement here. The changes since the open on the indexes, on the sector indexes, are pretty weak. The healthcare sector is the best one this morning. As far as since the open, it's up more than any of the other ones, but not much, 0.5%, which is pretty good, I guess. Energy is also up today. Basic materials up a little bit. The consumer defensive is actually down just a bit, but not a lot. Very, very tight, very tight, slow market here right now. SPY coming in. Food 2 just holding the VWAP. Very dead day here. First solar, that was a nice short. It's coming right down to the 15 EMA. Apple bouncing again, just chopping all over the place here. NVO was a nice call out on in this gap on NVO. You really want to make sure it holds that gap today. Again, it needs to hold the gap. The gap formed at entrance of the gap was at right there, 55.37. 55.37. Coming down now. Q2 just kind of drifting sideways. Again, this is just I just have to keep repeating that this is low probability trading environment. This is not a good day to be taking trades. You know, please try to keep your trade count down, keep your risk down. The market's not doing anything here. It's waiting for tomorrow, waiting to see what Powell says tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Scalping, you probably can do some scalping, but other than that, right now, this market is crap. SPY with a flushing red candle there. About 11, 5 minutes to 12 here right now. We're seeing this choppy action. I mean, you can see this move down and back, move up again, move down, back, move up again. Here comes a down, move down, and we got a bounce from here. I certainly wouldn't be taking it short right yet. We've got to wait to see what it does here. But right now, this is just a way too unsure to trade here today. I have no confidence at all in what the market's going to do except chop around. Still watching Futu. I do still like Futu, but not doing anything. So.
Members markets are seeing continued volatility as more and more of these comments on by Fed being circulated, focusing on those Hammond comments earlier, where they said that the data now wouldn't see a case for a September cut. We have been seeing volume weakness in markets following those comments out. Currently, the Dow down spot 4, basically all three indices down spot 4%. 100% lines up by Fannie and Freddie. The 30-year FRM averaged 6.58% as of August 21st, unchanged from last week.
Took 40%, 45% in first sold at PDS. Good job, Shai. Very nice job. That was a nice short. Again, came right down to the 15 here. See if it supports there, but it's a nice short. Still going down. IBM also very weak right now. Two big red candles in a row for IBM. Right here. Whoops, not there. Right there. SPY still coming in. Down 0.4%. Q's down about 0.5% right now. Market internals, bearish again. Larry points out the ION drug approval, IONS, I believe, it's been halted. He said it's going to open again. Oops, let me see again. Get up here. IONS drug was approved. The halt will end 12:10 to 12:15. So about 7 to 10 minutes from now. IONS trading at 42.71. You can't do anything with it right now, so we'll see what happens when it opens. NVO pulling back right toward that gap fill entry. Gets that gap fill entry is at 55.37. It's right now it's 55.60, just slightly in the gap. I've just been watching it. Futu watching it too, but getting just less and less interested as it doesn't do much here. And neither does the market. That market doesn't do anything either. Eric, what indicators am I using for those consolidation alerts? You're talking about the pops. You talking about these pop signals here? I assume that's what you're talking about, Eric. These pop signals right here. I mean, these are just compression breaks. I mean, if you look across here, you can see this compression here. Came back down to it a little bit. See how it tried to break out of it here, and now it's breaking down below it right here. It's basically just identifying levels on these candles for several candles where you get a break to the downside or a break to the upside, and then you'll get several of them sometimes in a row like that. So TOS is popping up an alert for those. You've had them pop recently for Futu and IBM. Yeah, I mean, they on these 5-minute charts, they come and go a lot. You can see them. Futu is showing a short one right here. IBM, it's not. I don't trade off of it. I just use it for confirmation. Like if I'm taking a SPY short, like a SPY super system short, as it breaks through the VWAP. If I've got I've got it moving down here. This is an IBM. I've got a move down on my momentum, and it's obviously going from buy, which is green, to sell, which is yellow, and it's breaking below the VWAP. And I've also got a pop signal that gives me some more confidence that it's a good place to take a quick short here. Yeah, it's coming up on the TOS platform. It's generated in the SPY super system that we have. The software that you can buy, the software that shows the SPY super system information includes these pop signals. I don't trust the market at all here today. Not in the least. First Solar was a nice short. That was Harry called it out earlier today. It's a beautiful short. Still drifting down. IBM was also a decent short. Apple, it's a good short. It's just choppy right now. And there's very little edge right now in the market. The market's not giving you any edge at all. You have to basically trade stocks that have got good relative strength, good relative weakness, and are still they're gonna have to carry the weight all by themselves. The market's not doing much of anything here. It's not likely to the rest of the day. A lot of people were just waiting for Jay Powell's talk tomorrow. You're welcome, Eric. No problem. Thanks for asking. Jeffrey, how do I measure gaps? Close to open, low to high? Do you think it matters much? Well, I mean, the only question on, hey, William, scalped the buck off of First Solar. Nice job. Getting close to calling it a night. Man, it's just slow does not describe this. On Jeffrey, on like on this gap right here on NVO. And typically, if you've got wicks and tails, the question is whether you use the body or whether you use the tails. Now there is no wicks or tails on this one, so that obviously is the beginning of the move into the gap to the downside. But when I take on a stock like this is where I'm going to take the entrance to it. Again, I'm going to be fairly conservative. I don't consider this an entrance into the gap. I consider this an entrance into the gap. So in this particular case, I'm using a wick on it, and I'd probably use a tail if I had a tail up here, because it's more conservative. When you create a smaller gap when you do that, and it's a little more conservative. I mean, this could be it could have ended it down here, but to me, to be safe, I'd much rather use the wick here on this and a tail if there's a tail here. Do I think it matters much? I mean, it does think it matters some. It just depends. You notice this NVO, how this is trying desperately to get into this gap. But if I had the gap filled down here, it would have been in it for about 2 or 3 days here, but it's still not going anywhere. This is going to be my line in the sand, where I feel like if it stays above here and stays in there today, closes above it, and opens green tomorrow, that you've got a decent chance for at least a partial gap fill. SPY trying to move up here now. Starbucks a good short. Harry just mentioned that one. That's a pretty nice short of Starbucks. We talked about that earlier today. It's below the 100-day moving average on the daily chart right here. So it's definitely a short setup. Down at least to about $87. So nice setup on Starbucks right here. It's pretty choppy. You can see the drop here this morning and then choppy, but it's staying below the VWAP pretty much all day long here. Joe pointing out CVX is going into the daily chart gap. CVX. It's Chevron. Yep, it is. This is the gap that he's talking about. Right here. Gap from here to here. That's the gap. Oops. Starts here, ends there. Pretty much the gap right there. Small gap. SPY trying to bounce. Food trying to bounce. It's about 12:19. I'm going to get some lunch here in a minute. IONS open, by the way, the one Ari was pointing out was going to open sometime this around 12:10 to 12:15. It has opened. It moved up to here, 44.50, moved all the way up to $45, and now here it is right down in here. It just opened here right now. So a pretty nice little pop in it. Very volatile here. All right, so again, I'm going to get some lunch here in a minute. It's about 12:20, so I'm going to grab some lunches. There's really not much for me to say here. The market is crap. It really is crap today. It's just, this is all just chop. The market internals have been going up and down, up and down, up and down. No direction to the market at all. You have to find good stocks. First Solar was a good one that was Harry pointed out earlier. Starbucks is a decent short, although it's bounced back up here a little bit toward the VWAP, but still a nice short on the daily chart. Daily chart looks pretty good. Got red coming down. Nice little, get some support down here, but it's still got a little room to the downside. Okay, I'm gonna get some lunch. I'll be back in just a little bit here. I'm gonna eat lunch here at my desk, but I gotta step away for just a couple minutes. See if we have any questions before we go. Shall I? ALAB looks nice here. Yeah, Astera Labs. It's a nice setup. Again, these are PBOs. You know, the caveat to all of this stuff is that we're going to have Fed speak tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Jay Powell's going to be speaking at Jackson Hole, and it's got to be very, very cautious here because any kind of hawkish talk by him is likely going to push the market down pretty hard. The market is expecting a quarter point cut in September, and we've had a few comments from Fed's speakers today that are casting some doubt on that. So the market is going to have to think about that. But this ALAB is a nice PBO, very nice PBO on ALAB. It's got room up to about. This is a pretty big, fast-moving stock. You can see 197 here. It's about 17, 18 points higher in this little move. So I assume the ATR is fairly significant. Yeah, it's up around $12 a day. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice look on that one, Jai. Very nice. All right, I'm going to grab some lunch here. Let me look at the YouTube folks and see what's going on over there. So, am I favoring the long or the short side right now? I'm not favoring anything right now, long or short. I'm just looking for some standout stocks, and they're at an awful lot. So I'm neutral right now. The market's still bullish, but I'm neutral. The SPY is down below the 15 EMA on the daily chart, so I can't be bullish if it stays below the 15, and I can get back to bullish if it goes above the 15. This is what we're seeing on the SPY here on the daily chart. This is it's not great price action. Nice move up, all-time high, moving down here. Big spike yesterday, huge hammer on the SPY yesterday. Closed back above the 15, but then gapped down below it this morning. So I have no confidence. And we're still bullish. Obviously, look at the trend. We're still bullish, but we got to be careful here. We got some support levels. You want to see if they hold. And today is really awful. The market's not doing anything today. And ALAB is a pretty nice setup, though. Nice PBO. Futu, just trying to get back up to the VWAP. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. Thanks very much, YouTube folks, for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to close it down now and be back in tomorrow, Friday, at about 11. Again, Powell's speaking tomorrow at 10 o'clock in Jackson Hole. So if there's going to be any market volatility or any kind of a catalyst that this week, that's what it's going to be.